And now we'll figure out if what will be the system's sigma square if we have a parts and their sigmas are known. The standard deviation of parts are known. We have to figure out the assembly's standard deviation, or for some required standard deviation of our assembly, what is the maximum standard deviation of our parts which is allowed. So for the assembly, like if the assembly has linear combinations of parts, then something like this. So if our part is this length and we have cut out 2 parts or 3 parts, then there are one measurement, then there is second measurement, then there is third measurement, and then there is fourth measurement, and the extra left thing will be the fifth measurement. So if we are measuring 1, 2, 3, 4 and we want to figure out the standard deviation of fifth, then what can we write? The standard deviation of fifth will be the summation of standard deviation of 1, 2, 3 and 4, which is linear because these are lengths and these lengths will be either added or subtracted. There will be no multiplications. So if there is non-linear combination, so if there are multiplications and divisions involved in our function, then we need to use this non-linear combination method, and this is called as delta method also. So here our function y can be a function of x1, x2, some parameters. So the mu of y will be given by mu's of each of the parameter, and the sigma y square will be given by this formula, where we are taking partial derivative of the original function with respect to each of the parameter, and then we are substituting the mean of all the parameters which are left, taking the square of it and multiplying with the sigma of that parameter itself. So let's take an example to understand it easily. So we have a cube or a cuboid whose dimensions are x, y and z. The specifications will be, the tolerance will be x plus minus delta x, y plus minus delta y, z plus minus delta z. So the tolerance of x will be 2 times delta x, hence we find out the sigma x, sigma of the x. So it will be 2 times delta x by 6. Similarly we will find out for sigma y and sigma z, and sigma of volume will be given by this. So how do we do is, the g function is x into y into z. So we differentiate x into y into z with x first, then put the mu of all the parameters left. So y into z will be left. We put the mu y and mu z, square of it, and then sigma x square plus summation is z, so plus. Then we differentiate with y. So the x into y, x into z comes. We substitute the mean of that, we square and multiply with the sigma y square. Similarly for the third component, third parameter z. We can see one example also. If there is a voltage V is equal to Ri function is given, I and R's tolerances are specified, and we want to find out the sigma of V. Then what can we do is, mu I will be 25, mu R will be 4, mu V will be 100. Multiplication of these two directly. Mu I will be 2 by 6, mu R will be 0.026 into 2 by 6. Mu square will be differentiation of this with respect to R, so I is left, so mu I square into mu sigma R square plus differentiating with respect to I, so R is left, so mu R square into sigma I square, and now mu V square will be this, so mu V will be square root of that. So the natural tolerance limit can be written by mu V plus 3 sigma V and mu V minus 3 sigma V. Simple, it's over. And once we have the tolerance limit and some specifications if they are mentioned, something like 98 and 102 are mentioned, then we can find out how much proportion is inside our limit, how much will be outside our specification limit, and with the natural tolerance limit and specification we can also find the process capability ratios. So there can be everything which we have done already. We can find out all the things here, this parameter, everything, once we have the value of natural tolerance limit and specifications mentioned.